What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Two Knicks Chicks. I'm your girl, Lady and the Chef, joined by my co-host this evening.
G 21, what's up?
It's another day. The Knicks, where we get to talk about the Knicks for one. So it's one of my favorite things to do. The Knicks are actually coming off is it 3 game winning streak on the West Coast, their West Coast trip.
Yeah, but it's a
Um,
four game.
I know you had the Knicks at 4-0. Say that again.
No, yeah, no, yeah, you're correct.
Yeah, the Knicks. You have the Knicks at 4-0. The Knicks have beat Portland 105-93. This is back on the 14th. They played again on the 16th, which was Saturday against the Sacramento Kings. They won 98-91. Then they beat the Warriors 119-112 on Monday the 18th. And they wrap up their West Coast road trip this evening where they play Denver Nuggets. The Knicks did beat the Denver Nuggets, actually played a really good game, 122-84 back on January 25th. So the Knicks are looking to wrap up their West Coast road trip strong. I'm very happy with the way the Knicks have been playing. Um, and actually, the Knicks have won their last 3 matchups against Denver. So the Knicks, after tonight's game, have 6 games left this month. We'll get into the upcoming games when they're back at home. But your thoughts on how the Knicks have been playing so far on this West Coast trip? What have you liked? Any takeaways? What are your thoughts on how they've been doing leading up to tonight?
They've been playing great. You know, the defense has been solid. I mean, although the last two games they did give up over 100 points, but nonetheless, they got the W. That's what matters. But overall, it's like everybody's locked in. Um, Deuce, you know, he's like, he's like this really that confidence. The more and more he plays, the more confidence he gains. And I always say, you never know what a player is capable of unless they're put in that position. And I give
Right.
like Precious, he's another prime example. You know how he was able to fill in Julius' absence. There was a lot of people that doubted him, and he was like, "Oh, there was a lot of naysayers, a lot of negativity." But you never know how a player responds unless they're put in that position. Some
Mm,
players are able to rise to the occasion, others are not. But overall, the Knicks, like, that grit, that grind, just that never give up attitude. Um, we can play with the best and we're better than, and as they should think so. But and just of course, Brunson, being a floor leader, the general, being able to stay composed. He's now this thing that blitzing him, and he's just able to hand pass it off to his man, or he's just able, like, with his footwork. That comes from just having a high
right.
basketball IQ. But
Hmm.
overall, there's so many, tangibles that each player is bringing to the game. Josh Hart, this is the player we saw last year. As I mentioned before, this is what we're gonna need for Josh to continue to do. Not so much getting triple doubles, but just play your style and play under, composed, because we know Josh, he's like the I call him the energizer bunny.
Exactly.
um, just everybody is just like, well, I mean, rewind that. Most everybody is contributed.
Right.
But for the most part, those that aren't, the team, you know, just the team is just able to just, I don't know, just from these last few games, and again, the injury bug, has plagued us again, but there's going to be some relief, and I know you're going to speak on that. But just, I mean, collectively, they're just playing, team basketball. So there's no one particular person. It's just collectively as a team, how they're just able to just come together and put together that win. They were able to maintain a lead where if a team is like closing that gap. Tibbs, he's able, call that timeout. Just his substitution also,
Hmm.
how he's able to, substitute guys in, and the matchups, how he's just, able to, you know, gather the team and, figure out that matchup. Now tonight, that's going to be a tall task. But overall, just that the 3 game road trip that they've been on, a solid ball. And let's hope it, carries over for tonight.
Yeah, I think collectively the Knicks have played really well. They figured out ways how to win, especially on the road, and especially when the wins are needed. These wins all count right now as Orlando is right on New York's tail in the Eastern Conference standings. And I think that the Knicks have just really figured out a way to win with OG Anunoby, having to sit back out because, the soreness and the elbow. I know the MRI came back negative with OG, but the Knicks are not rushing him back. And I said this from the rip, don't rush any players back. Give
Yeah.
them time to, get back and have them more so for the postseason, for the playoffs. And it's we have news that I'm sure you heard that Mitch did practice with contact. He was shooting, rebounding, which is a great sign. Because honestly, I didn't think Mitch was going to come back until maybe like the second round or late in the first round of the playoff second round, just because we weren't really hearing anything. But to hear that he's making this progress is really great news to hear. Actually, I was reading that the last time Mitch came off the bench was back in November of 22 against Phoenix, and the Knicks lost that game. So we saw Mitch tweeted or went on Snapchat. It wasn't a tweet, I believe it was Snapchat, and he said that he wants to come off the bench, which again, that's fine if that's what Mitch wants to do. But I think that just overall knowing that the Knicks are going to have him back, I think it's a good sign because it gives Hartenstein a chance to really have some rest on the bench. And it's no knock on Precious Achua. I just think Precious doesn't have the length and the height that both Mitchell Robinson and Hartenstein does. And even against the Warriors, when Hartenstein was on the bench, you noticed the difference. And we've noticed this in other games when he has to sit down and catch a breather. The Knicks, the rebounding is like tough. Yeah, you have Josh Hart, you have Precious, you have other guys that's contributing towards the rebounding, but that length, that height is missing. You know what I mean? And again, Sims is still finding his footing. He's not he's getting the time, but I think once Mitch comes back, I think Sims' time is definitely going to dwindle down more just because, Mitch and Hartenstein are going to be playing that five role along with Precious Achua, who's essentially going to be getting Sims. Sims is not going to really get any minutes like that unless, God forbid, someone gets hurt. But I think that the Knicks have figured out a way to win games when it matters most. These are when they need to collectively win these games. I think that they're heading in the right direction, and this is a way to how you finish off the season off strong. My biggest thing is that I want to see the Knicks have that same energy as they had against the Warriors and the previous other teams tonight. But also, when you do play against the teams that are not that good, Brooklyn, Detroit, these other teams, Chicago, that you have coming up, who have nothing to lose, and they're going to come out with high energy and look to take advantage of the Knicks and capitalize and get the win. But shout out to the Knicks for they never gave up any leads in those games. And the Knicks are actually number one in defensive rating since March 10th. The Kings are second, Orlando's in third, Indiana's in fourth, and the Sixers are in fifth. So that says a lot considering Tom Thibodeau is known as a defensive minded coach. And I piggybacking off of what you said for him figuring out how to do the rotations and switching guys off. And I read that he said he's gonna have to do a lot of that for the remainder of the season and for the postseason because he has so many options, which is a great thing.
Yeah.
So if one guy's not hot or off, you got an option. You can if Mitchell Hart and Steve, you got Precious. You know what I mean? You have another option there, and Deuce is loose. I like what I'm seeing from Deuce. I
You
think
see,
Deuce looks very, very confident in that shot. He looked confident bringing up the ball, and he did a really great job defending Steph Curry against the Warriors. I know we're not going to get 29 from Deuce all the time, but let me tell you something. The way Deuce has been playing this season, Grimes could never. When I look at Deuce, I say, prepare to be sick of me, because that's what he's giving us. He's like, y'all gonna see a lot of me. I'm not going anywhere. And what I like is that the Knicks got Deuce at a nice contract price, but he's proven himself on this team that he belongs. I don't know if you saw, but the roommate show, Josh Jalen's podcast, had Randall on there today.
I was watching
I
by
didn't get
definition.
yeah, I started it, didn't get to finish it, but I do want to hear what Randall was saying, because he, he's getting into tidbits, but I want to hear what he was talking about on that interview. So I was hoping to talk about it on tonight's, but I'll save it for when we go on Saturday, and we'll point out some points, or what we took away from that interview. So I'm kind of happy that they did have him on that show. But I wanted to recap really quickly with the Warriors game. One of the things that I really liked was that we had five guys in double figures. Brunson had 34, McBride 29, Isaiah Hartenstein had a double double, 10 points, 10 rebounds, 13 points. Dante DiVincenzo with 18. Josh Hart with another triple double. I believe this is his fifth so far of the season, which is impressive. That's what's going to get the Knicks wins, and that's what's going to help the Knicks throughout, not only finishing off the season strong, but helping the Knicks in the playoffs, being able to win games throughout each series, game by game. It can't fall on two guys or three guys. It has to be multiple guys contributing and being able to contribute and give points throughout the postseason. So I was very impressed with what I saw against the Warriors. I was also happy that Draymond didn't choke anybody out. I was watching. I said, don't you do that to my Knicks. Don't you do that to none of those fellas. Don't bring that over here. Go do that to another team. He just said that caged animal. They let him loose because that's how he's acting. But he didn't bring that our way. Thank God. Last thing I needed was someone getting kicked in the you know what I mean, in the sack, stepping on their ankle. This guy, you don't know what he's capable of. He's a loose cannon. But I really like the way the Knicks played the Warriors, considering they played very up tempo. And I watched the replays with Deuce McBride. The Warriors do a great job setting several screens for Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Deuce was fighting over those screens like that was the task they gave him at hand. But the fact that he contributed with the points also, I'm very impressed. And if he can continue to bring that energy and give the points, we're going to be okay, and we'll have a solid, safe backup for the postseason.
No, that's true. Like I read something where Deuce he was like told, like, the shadow Steph, which is, you
Mhm.
have to, like, a play like that, you know Steph, he will run around that court, and that's how, not that that's how he able to get a shot, but he gets a lot of his shots off because I guess his goal of mindset is to tire you out. But
Right.
Deuce, he was like, listen, I've been waiting for this. I'm up for the task. When he played, a lot of those minutes and stuff like that. So he's been waiting for this opportunity, and so nice that he was able to, condition himself and get himself, ready mentally as well as physically, because there's going to be many more games like that. So shout out to Deuce, man. Old Deuce, yeah, that's right, AJ. Yeah, we did. We kicked their butts. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We sure enough did. But tonight's gonna be a tough
Yeah,
one,
no,
though.
it is, but the Knicks can beat these better teams. And I think this is what I've been looking for from the Knicks, to figure out how to beat OKC, how
Yeah,
to beat Denver, how to beat Milwaukee, how to beat Dallas. And their real tall task is also how to beat Boston, which we have yet to do. But I believe in this team that they can, because these guys are locked in. I think that Burks seems to. I hope is finding his footing within this team, and Bogdanovich. I feel like, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out the that situation. I don't want to fully put it on him. You know my gripe on that. I still think half of it is Tibbs and the way he's setting up the offense with him on when Bogdanovich is on the floor, and the other half of it I think is Bogdanovich just not in the right places. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I saw at one point where the last game against the Warriors, Jalen Brunson had drove and Bogdanovich did one of these moves. Not in the corner. He was right under the basket, and Jalen Brunson said, "I got it." He said, "Next time, maybe next time, but I got it," and he did. He had it. I didn't really need to do anything. I didn't need you to help out. With salute Ajay, he said Kaminga was doing all that too short sign and grinning, dancing, and prancing when they were here. I ain't seen none of that. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say some teams like to celebrate so early. And
Yeah,
you know what? That's fuel to the fire when they do that to us, when they think we too small, we're not strong enough. That fuels Brunson. That fuels Deuce. That fuels Isaiah Hartenstein. When they trying to dunk on him, I love that about Hartenstein. He's not afraid to get dunked on because he's really trying to block your shot. They may
exactly.
not try that against Mitch, but I love that Hartenstein is not afraid to get the contact or get knocked down because in reality, he's looking to swat that ball to the under end of the floor. So just guys being active. Isaiah Hartenstein, the energy seems to be picking up. He seems to be back where he was when he was on that hot streak. Listen, I'm happy Mitch is close to being back because I think those two, when they both were in and Mitch was healthy, it was nice having one come in for the other, and I think with Precious being a fill-in, it's going to work out for us. I'm not worried about what this team is going to do moving forward. I have confidence. I like what I'm seeing. And I just feel like, the Knicks they're heading in the right direction as far as what I'm seeing so far. What are your thoughts on Mitch coming back? Like, do you want to see Mitch come back with a few games left, or are you saying let's just have him back for the playoffs?
No, the sooner the better, but as long as he's healthy. Like I'm excited. Like I always say, w- they're two distinct different players, and what Mitch can do for us and what he did for us offensively and defensively. So that's his specialty.
Mhm.
I heart, he's a passer. He could set, the screen. So they're both going to bring something different to the table. And the thing about that is that when he do come back now, again, that widens, the rotation and just the matchup, like Tip said, he's gonna play him according to he did say iHeart was gonna start. And he said he'll play them according to, how the game is going, the matchup. So now again he gets a chance to play around with the rotation. And like everyone said, oh, well, the guys aren't gonna come in and do that with Mitch. Yeah, they won't, and that's great. So
Right.
I'm excited to see what Mitch is gonna do. Like you say how he trolls and stuff. Well, I can't wait. They probably gonna have him come back. You think for that home game for Brooklyn? I'm
I think either that game or the Detroit game. And
for the
then
Detroit.
even if he do maybe at 10 minutes to 15 minutes, I
Hmm.
don't think he
Yeah.
should push it. Just come back for a couple of minutes.
Oh,
But do you think when Mitch comes back, is that floor spacing gonna be there? Because no, you don't get the passes that Hartenstein does very well. But does the offense, when the Knicks are on offense, does that shrink down some or does it still stay wide? And how does that look now with Mitch back on the floor?
but see that's is it. It's gonna change because they're two different players. They may play the five, but again, they're two different players. So the schemes and the plays is gonna be designed for when that player is on the court. So there's gonna be things that you, or plays that where iHeart, how he's able to do the back door and things like that. So it's gonna definitely be a different outlook. But I don't think it's gonna hurt them because they were winning when Mitch was, healthy because of what, and he was able to give the second, opportunity offensively. So I mean, I don't think it's gonna shrink, that much. It's going to be different because of the plays that's going to be ran, but it shouldn't, I think it's just for a winning recipe for the most part.
Now, here's the thing. Mitch does the high screen pick and roll really well.
Hmm.
Should Hartenstein and Deuce McBride look to make that pass so we can get to Mitch so we can get those easy buckets? Or does Mitch continue to set those screens as he does really well? Mitch is very strong. Um, or should either Brunson or Deuce look to throw the nice easy lob so he can get that quick dunk or a layup? Like, should the Knicks go back into that so this way we can get those more points in the paint and not settle? Or, of course, if they have the open mid-range shot, take it. But should we get back into that, or do you think that they're gonna miss Mitch? Because this was a complaint from some of the fans before. They were saying they felt like Brunson wasn't passing the ball enough to Mitch and giving him so he can have that quick little, alley,
Hmm.
throw him the ball, he could bang it in, bomb, bomb, bomb. People felt like, yo, Brunson, but and I don't know. I think that we've discussed how sometimes that's because Brunson has no other option, right? And you don't see them run that with Hartenstein because that's not really what he does. But should the Knicks with Mitch coming back, should that be an option that they should utilize if giving Mitch the ball with him being so close to the basket when he's right under the basket, right? Rather,
They're probably, because Mitch, he's a live person. He's not gonna give us much more. you know,
right.
yeah, he does set nice picks. So I don't think nothing's gonna change, offensively when he's in there because we're not gonna get a mid range from him. You're not gonna get no baby hook. There's a lot of things that you're not gonna get with Mitch. So I think things will, for the most part, just continue on as how they were playing before his injury, how he sets the high pick and rolls. He can go in for a lob, you know, Brunson, if he's open and he feel that the shot is not there for Mitch, he's gonna take it. So I don't think much is gonna change as far as just like offensively. Yeah, they're gonna get him involved for what they can, what they feel he's, if he could take the shot, yeah, they give it to him. But for the most part, I don't think much is gonna change. But we'll wait and see. He's practicing, and they said he looks good. He's running and catching and shooting. That's all. We'll see. So. Again, I don't expect too much from Mitch. We're gonna get, what we got from him from before. Nothing more and nothing less.
I think if he's there and the open window is there to give him the alley oop, I think that the Brunson, Josh Hart, if he has the ball sometimes, or McBride, I think you need to pass it into him because that's one of the things that um, I think maybe 3 games since Mitch has been out. I guess, and you could say in Randall because Randall's very strong and can get that ball down in the paint and does it very well. The Knicks' points in the paint have been down.
Oh yeah.
And like I said, Hartenstein, that's not really his game where you can pass him the ball down low and he's just gonna, he does with the lob, he does that well. But I don't think doing that alley oop and, getting an easy basket like that is gonna necessarily work with Hartenstein. But I think when it comes to Mitch, with Mitch being back and he sets that screen, that high screen, as long as Mitch rolls to the basket, I think guys need to look for him so we can get those easy buckets.
Yeah, for sure.
That's just like that's what we're gonna need. So, we'll see what goes on with that. But yeah, I think tonight's game, honestly, are you confident with the Knicks beating Denver? Because you had them 4-0.
Although I have them 4-0, it's going to be a tough matchup. You know, they have everybody's playing. Nobody's on the injured list outside of two of the guys, but they're starters. Um, they're playing great. You know, I was looking at this like the depth or how many games Joke or he missed 2 games out of from what they played. What was that 69? I
Hmm.
mean, it's a tough matchup for them at home. You know, they're the second out west. Their home record is 27-6. You know,
Right.
their record away from home is 21-15. So these guys, they're balling. You know, Michael Porter Jr. He's gonna be a tough matchup. Same thing with Eric Gordon. So size wise, that's why I say it's gonna be a tough matchup because they're at home and their crowd is just like a New York crowd. They may be in Denver, but they have a nice fan base. And just the matchup, that's what's concerning me. Yeah, I have them 4-0 because that's the optimist in me. But just overall, just the matchup is gonna be tough. But yeah, I believe they could beat Denver. Take away from that first game that they spanked them,
Yeah.
they could do a repeat. They just got to get off
Yeah, I agree.
a nice start.
Yeah,
That's gonna definitely be key. If they could just get off
exactly.
to a nice start. So
Yeah, the high energy is definitely going to be needed. If the
yeah,
Knicks can come out with that high energy and then stay locked in defensively, they have a really great chance. And I think that they also have to limit Jokic points in the paint. You can't
mm,
allow him to go off in the paint because once he gets that, like Hartenstein and even if Sims gets some time and Precious, you have to challenge him and make him really work to get the ball. I don't
yeah,
want to see him getting the simple bounce pass or a chest pass and then he goes to work, on the block and now he's able to go and make his move. You have to challenge him. Make it hard for him to even get the ball for one, and then don't allow him to just go to whatever move he wants to go to and do whatever he wants to do. So I think for sure the Knicks have to be locked in defensively, and then they have to start off the third quarter strong. We talk about this all the time, but it's so crucial that the Knicks have a strong third quarter. I think a lot of times the Knicks, when they come out strong in the third, you see the difference. You don't want to have Denver come in and now they playing with you and now all of a sudden the score flip flops and now they up by 12, 14 points. And now the Knicks have to play this. We're trying to, which the Knicks do very well. They're very resilient and fighting against teams and crawling back. But I just think
yeah,
that don't even allow yourself to get in that situation. Come out strong, do what you need to do, make sure your energy is high energy and you're ready to go from the jump ball. And I think that's so crucial. And I think also besides moving a ball, but if the shots are not knocking down, especially the three, don't settle. Take the ball in, go for the mid-range shot. But the way the Knicks were passing the ball, especially in Golden State,
yeah,
extra pass was beautiful. So if they do that tonight, you can hurt teams, and especially tonight against Denver, you can hurt Denver. So I just think that it's how you play them defensively. Salute Oath. You're new here, subscribe to the channel. Haven't seen you here before, but welcome, welcome, welcome. Jalen Brunson should be playing. I did not see anything about him not playing tonight. Um, I don't see why he would not be playing, especially against Denver. You need Jalen Brunson tonight. So yeah, I haven't heard anything. I don't know about
yeah.
Devolux, but yeah, I
No, I
haven't heard
haven't.
anything. So he should be playing. Salute Sharice Duncan. He said, "This is why we need Randall back so he can dominate the paint." Yeah. And I think also to take some of that pressure of the scoring off of Brunson. So Brunson has a sidekick in scoring because
Mm-hmm.
right now it fully solely relies on him. And then I think the other guy who's been, well, I should say two guys, has been DiVincenzo and Josh Hart, who's been stepping up and contributing towards the scoring, which grateful. Thank you both for contributing towards the scoring, and that's a great thing. And I think, I don't think enough people talk about Dante DiVincenzo enough and what he does and what he's been doing consistently with this team because he could have been a bust. And I think previously the Knicks lacked great, really good shooters. And Dante DiVincenzo, we know he can give you, 20, 23, 25 easily a night. And Josh Hart is proving why the Knicks signed him and gave him that money. I mean, now he making me eat my words and shut up. That's what I want. Make me be quiet because he's going out there and just collectively, single handedly, he's getting rebounds, he's making the passes, he's diving for loose balls. This is what I was looking for. So I like what the energy that I'm seeing, and it's infectious on other guys.
Earn that money.
Right. And I like what I'm seeing also from Deuce McBride, like I mentioned earlier. Precious has been a little quiet, but that's okay because he's gonna have games tonight, maybe a game where he come through and do really well. You never know. I'm hoping I
Yeah.
really would like to see Alex Burke and Bogdanovich just bring it up a couple of notches. I feel like right now they're stuck at a 3, 4 level. I need you to bring it at least to a 7.58. We're stuck, those two are at a 3, 3.5, 4 level, and it's just not enough. Not collectively where this team is trying to go. I just would like to see them take a higher leap and contribute more, offensively, because this is why they were brought to this team, especially Bogdanovich. You know, do you think the Knicks keep Bogdanovich after this season? Or does it
Hmm.
depend on how he plays throughout the remainder of the season and the postseason?
Well, that's a good question. It probably depend like how we do, because we want to see some of them guys back next season. Perks probably. Um, but yeah, that's a hard one.
Hmm.
I would like to see him. I mean, I think it's just I don't know. Maybe it's um just he hasn't gotten his foot in because we know what he's capable and what he can do, and it's sometimes it's just I can't say he's trying too hard, but I would like to see him come back just to see what he can do, from the beginning of the season. So
Yeah.
yeah, though.
I don't I feel like if they don't keep him, then you need to get somebody, bring someone here who's to that level of shooting. Because I think while we have DiVincenzo, you need a strong bench, a strong second unit of guys who can actually shoot the ball and make shots. I think you also need guys who not could just not only make shots but are playmakers and can do something with the ball. Because like I've been saying, the playoffs is a different ball game. And when you only have one guy on the team, Brunson, who knows how to create his own and get to the basket and make his move, and you really don't have that in no one else. That's why when the postseason come, I'm really looking at Randall, to be honest. I want to see,
Mm.
is Randall gonna be able to one-on-one do whatever move he wants to do? Now I know Randall don't have a bunch of moves like Jalen Brunson does under his belt, but I want to be able to see Randall get past his man, shoot whatever shot he wants, or those tough shot baskets that he like to make on the side of the basket. I want to see him do that when the pressure is on and he has a really good defender on him and seeing him work his magic. That and seeing him show up. I don't want to see anybody disappear in the postseason. So, Sharice Duncan said, and we can beat Denver with no front court. We are definitely ready for the playoffs. Here's the thing. I think the Knicks are ready for the playoffs. But I think it's a matter of, do the Knicks want it more? The Knicks have to want it more. This team is ready for the playoffs, but the playoffs is a different level than what they're playing right now.
Yeah.
When teams like Miami go to the playoffs, they know how to turn the notch all the way up to a level 20, a level 15, a level 20. Right now, they playing at an 8, maybe a 9, some nights a 10, just like the Knicks. But I think that the Knicks are going to have to learn how to, they got to play more gritty and hungrier. And not saying that the Knicks haven't been doing that. I'm just saying when you in the playoffs and it's a series and it's the best of whatever it is, 5, 7, however many games it is, you have to come out night in, night out and be ready to, yeah, Jay Boogie, you see her playing her lotto? I don't know what she's doing. I don't know if she's taking a nap or she picking up her quick pick for tomorrow. I'm not even sure. Jay Boogie, I'm glad you peeped that. He says she parlaying. I don't know if she picking the rounds for tonight. I'm not sure what's going on. She's checking her camera for the ring. I don't know what's I'm not sure what's going on here, but the Knicks have to want it more. And if the Knicks don't want it more, let me tell you something. As quick as we see them get in, is as quick as we're gonna see them out. We're gonna be like, oh, what happened? So listen, it can't just be Brunson, Hart, DiVincenzo, Brunson, Randall, and DiVincenzo. Or it can't even just be Brunson, OG, Randall. It's not gonna work. The supporting cast has to step up.
Hey, when you say
McBride,
that,
Hart, Mitchell Robinson, Isaiah Hartenstein,
bogey.
Precious. All
Yeah,
of those
yeah.
guys have to contribute because when the Knicks play together as a team, they're a lot more successful. It can't rely on the same two, three guys. So again, the playoffs is a different animal. It's a different beast. I think again, I really truly believe this team is ready for the playoffs. But I think the true test comes when you play against a team like Boston. And a lot of people in the chat in previous videos have said, oh, well, we didn't play them healthy. Listen, I get the Knicks are having a man down situation. But one of the things that I've been saying is that this team has to this roster who's able to play right now have to figure out how to win games. You what are you gonna do? Wait for Randall and OG to come back? You have to figure out and Mitch to come back. They have to figure out how to win. They've been doing that. And I started off this podcast applauding them for that, but they have to learn how to continue to win games without your main pieces. And this is a great time with OG out, Randall out. This is a great time for all the other guys to figure it out and to gel together to figure out what their roles and what they need to be doing and how they can be effective and contribute in the game. This is a great time for that. This is a great time for that. So I think the Knicks for sure are ready for the playoffs. I think the Knicks have another level of like intensity they can bring, and I see them bringing that. Um, I just think that the Knicks have to like it's like Diva Lux said this before. It's very mental. Like they have to be like again. I don't know who's the leader on this team. I'm assuming it's Brunson. And I only say that because I don't see him be as vocal. And again, he could be like that maybe in practices and in halftime. We're not there. But whoever's the vocal leader has to really get this team, everybody like we gotta be on the same page because it's a bigger goal at the end of the day. And that's winning a championship. Not winning just for now, but it's a championship.
No, I believe Brunson is the leader. I mean, I've seen him. And just a case in point when he was out before they lost that game, before they played the Magic, when he came back. like you just saw. That's why they was able to get into my
Orlando.
Orlando, excuse me, wasn't Miami. That Orlando game, and
Mhm.
they won. Like that was a game that when Brunson came back from I think his like the calf or something. Um, you saw the difference in just how they were, like just on the because it's like their floor general's back, their leader is back. So I believe that Brunson is is definitely the leader of this team. Like you said, we don't see it as often, but I believe that he is just by the way when they oh they lost to Atlanta because Brunson didn't play that game.
I
And then
remember that.
they played Orlando that Friday. Um, it was just a difference when he stepped on foot on that court, and they were able to just like blow Orlando out of the water. So I believe he's the leader of of the team.
But do you think this team loses confidence when Brunson is out?
Yes, 100%. I'm not gonna hesitate to answer that. Yes, for
Yeah,
sure.
I think and that shouldn't be happening though. I don't think that this team should be losing confidence if Brunson is out for whatever reason, hurt, sick, whatever. Like,
Hmm.
that can't happen because it was one game we were watching and it was very reminiscent of the old Knicks team. And I think this was when Randall was still playing and he was healthy. And Randall was like somewhat running a point. And I was like, what's going on here? Because this is before Tibbs was really playing McBride like that. This is when
Hmm.
McBride was only getting 2 to 4 minutes a game. And I said, wow, like you could see how much they really need Brunson on his team. And
Yeah.
you see that when Hartenstein is on the bench, or even if it was Mitch who would start, it's like certain players you notice when they're not there. You're like, well, get them back in the game because what's going on here?
Hmm.
And I think Tibbs has done a great job. And I'm really going and trusting his decision making as far as rotations go in the postseason. And that was something that I had brought up on the Queen's Court on Monday was that's something that I do worry about is Tibbs' decision making on his rotations for the postseason. Taking a guy who's got the hot hand because you want to go put somebody in for defensive reasoning. Why? Why are you doing that when you should just leave them in? So, I don't know. I agree. Precious has been very quiet the last few games. I don't know why that is though, to be honest. I'm not sure why no one's been playing him extra tight defensively that for him to be quiet. I'm not sure why Precious has been kind of like, this is not the time for anybody to start playing disappearing acts. This is the time for
Mhm.
everyone to contribute in whatever ways. And I guess some nights is not going to be a player's night. Some nights players are going to be off. But he was one of the players who I said I want to see step up tonight, as well as Burks and Bogdanovich. Those three guys, I want to see them step up. I also want McBride to give us something because McBride has this thing where he makes up. He does very well in making up for it. Like if he has a bad
Yeah.
game, the next game that they play, McBride comes out full steam. He gives us something and he makes up for it. But I just hope this is not a game where it's a quiet game or off game for him. And sometimes it's not even an off game with McBride. There's really nothing there. Um, so tonight where I want to see McBride also contribute, but Precious especially, I would like to see him get back into the groove of what we've been seeing as far as blocks, the steals, putting up some jump shots for us, some blocks. I know he was giving us the defensive effort was there, but just offensively, he's been really, really quiet. So Nick Yak salute. He said, we figured out how to win 50 games missing 3 starters. Well, we're close to 50. Does the 50 games matter to you guys in the chat? Do you think the front office cares about the 50 wins, or are they looking at the longer run on how the Knicks actually do, not just in the regular season, but more so in the postseason? Like, okay, how does this team finish off? Because I think the front office has higher expectations for this team. I think they're looking like, listen, I don't even necessarily think it's a pressure, and it could be. Maybe it could be this pressure on Tibbs, and Leon's getting some pressure. Like I told you, I think Tibbs said to Leon and the other guys, this is what I'm working with, and I'm doing the best I can. If you can get me players in who can, higher caliber players, I can make something happen. Leon probably said, okay, well, here you go. I gave you what you was asking for. And it's showing Tibbs is doing the job, right?
Yeah,
This team has
true.
stepped
Yeah.
up and done the job. But I don't think it's a pressure just because they made moves and did a phase one, phase two of bringing out, taking, getting rid of players, bringing players in. I just think that it's been too long. It's been 50 freaking years. And I think this organization has said, let's make this team known as a playoff team. This Knicks team is going to start to be known as a team who makes the playoffs every year. And I think because the Knicks made it to I think this year they look in Eastern Conference Finals, if not better.
Of course,
A
anything
first
less.
round
I
one
mean,
and done is not going to be good enough.
sure,
I'm going to
yeah.
be highly disappointed. I'm going to say it here right now, highly disappointed.
You and a lot of other people. So,
But we might get another big McBride game tonight. I hope.
yeah, I hope so
Really
too.
hope so, because that'll really help this team out. It really will. Jalen Brunson has a 90s swag about himself. Definitely a leader. Oh yeah, I definitely see that. I definitely see that. He don't do a lot of talking either. Like I don't mean vocally, but like trash talking and stuff. He do a
Yeah.
lot of like the hand signals, whatever that is. He do over his mouth. Um, Brunson out with Randall out, with OG out, with Mitch out. That's a lot out. Yeah. Where you
But
getting Brunson
Preston is
from?
out?
I know. You see, I had to go back to that one.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. Check that,
Me
Diva
neither.
Lights.
I did. I checked BR and ESPN. I don't see him out. Trying to think.
Parish Duggar salute. He said Brunson is so the leader. Brunson is guiding Leon to personal moves. Tibbs with offense and players was showing effort. I agree. Salute Tony. Tony Crow Nicks and Bruises. If you haven't already, subscribe to his channel. Was just on his channel. Tony does really great content.
Yeah.
Got to meet Tony at the Nothing But Knicks first of the back to back against Philly. Really cool dude, really chill, real positive vibes. He said, Peace Queens, checking in from work. Salute, Tony. Thanks for listening.
Salute, Tony.
We don't see anything, Ajay. I checked too. I checked.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I was.
Precious may be more comfortable playing at home. That could be. That could be, but I mean, we need you to play good on the road too, not just at home,
Exactly.
you know? So hit the like button, guys. Nick Yak said 52 wins gets us into second and avoid the Celtics until the finals. That's what the Knicks have to do, though. Avoid Boston as much as possible in the postseason because the Knicks can take any team, including Boston. I truly believe that. And I'm sure all of you in the chat believe so as well. We're not delusional.
Not
It's
at
very
all.
possible. The Knicks have proven that they can be any. I can't wait to again until we tonight's game when we match up against OKC again. When we get another game against Miami, we have a few upcoming games, especially Brooklyn. I just don't want the Knicks to get lax when we play against the teams that are not better, or rather the good teams in the league. those definitely are wins that you should be beating. Detroit, Brooklyn, the next two games after tonight, you have to win those games.
Especially if Mitch come back because like you say, he's comfortable coming off the bench. I think that's gonna fuel, like he says, I'm gonna show what I can do. That's just more fuel. So again, that's more firepower for the Knicks. So I mean, the more guys we get back, the healthier, and the better this team, will be because they've done great. Just with three starters out, so it's like they've been able to maintain, hold their own. So it's only the sky's the limit, once these guys just start, coming back, being added to the team.
How many games you want to see? Um, Salute
Well,
Jarrell. I am Jarrell. Salute Jarrell. Jarrell's has his own show too. Die Hard Giants. I'm butchering it. I'm gonna get it. Put it in the chat, Jarrell, so I can shout your show out. If you're a Giants fan, we're Giants fans over here. We Knicks and Giants fans.
fair
He
enough.
did a great show the other day, and I want to get people to subscribe. Mr. C, peace and love, ladies. Salute, salute, salute.
Salute. You were saying how many games? Oh, I'm sorry.
Salute Fabian Williams. He says, salute Queens.
Salute.
I'm subscribed. Thank you for subscribing. We appreciate that. Die Hard Giants Live. Yeah, subscribe to Jarrell's YouTube channel. He talks all thing New York Giants. He breaks down post games, he does pre games, and he does it live. So, and sometimes he has the Queen herself on there helping him with the commentating. So, guys, Die Hard Giants Live. Go subscribe to his channel. Show some love. Same thing with Tony Crow, Nicks and Bruises. Check them out. How many games do you want to see OG, Mitch, and Randall play in this regular season together? How many is a good enough number of games for them to play?
I don't know, but I would definitely like to see them before the regular season end. You know, we got what, like 12? How many more games we got left? Two,
I
four, six,
believe it's 13 or 14.
12, 14. Um, I would definitely like to see them, you know, play before the regular season. If they could come back, maybe February, you know. But the thing with Randall, they're not even, everything is mummed, At least with Mitch, we were getting, I guess, more updates as he got, we're getting closer to, I guess, coming back. So, with Randall, it's kind of like up in the air, but I would definitely love to see them on that court together at some point, before playoffs start.
Yeah, I agree. I would say around 5 games.
Oh yeah, definitely. It,
Even if it's maybe if it's like 3 to 5, I would say in that
yeah,
window. I don't really think they need to play a whole lot because we know, especially what OG and Randall could do, we know what Mitch could do as well. I just think with those three guys, they have to be careful when they come back so they don't re injure themselves. That health
yeah.
comes first, right?
Hmm.
But I think that yes, I want to see them play at least 3 to 5 games coming back. So this way we can see them get acclimated back with them with each other, you know, get a feel for each other on, on the court and who's doing what. I know these guys are watching the games. I know Randall's watching the games. He's been at some games. OG's what OG still looked
Sure.
like he didn't miss a beat when he came back.
Yeah.
He just fit right in, and I know Mitch, with Mitch is going to be a big help coming off the bench, believe it or not, because
Oh
that
yeah, yeah,
second unit, now you have that five player. He's the wingspan, the height, the strength, the picks, the screens, the blocks, the defensive presence. It gives you another body there. So I think seeing them play at least 3 to 5 games of this regular season before we go on into the postseason, like I said, the Knicks have an advantage going into the playoffs. Other teams may endure injuries these last 14 games of the 14, 15 games of the regular season. And while we may have our guys that's been out, they're starting to come back at a critical key time right now in the postseason. And other teams may not have guys who are able. Look at the Sixers. And B goes out, they crumble.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not the same for the Timberwolves with Cat out. They still like we ain't missing a beat, you know. But I mean, you do have Anthony Edwards on the team, so that's a different story. And I know we spoke about Boston. We said Porzingis could get hurt. Boston just has too many weapons. You got White, you got Brown, Tatum. It's just too many guys on that team who could give you a little bit of something, but they
Well,
can be stopped. They can be stopped because Boston, they're known to crumble at some points in the postseason. So, I think, like I said, I think 3 to 5 games is suffice for this team for these guys to play together. Randall, OG, Mitch come back, play together. And then now it's go time in the postseason. It's go time. It's time to step it up. Next man up. Everybody got to contribute. Be and stay ready. Stay ready when Tibbs call you into that game. Stay ready to get in there and do what you need to do. Know your role. I don't want to see Alex Burke going in there looking lost. Because if not, do you think? I know you mentioned it before. Do you think Burke's minutes are gonna go down once OG and Randall comes back?
hopefully, yeah, he's definitely not going to get 12 minutes probably. Um, and the way Deuce is playing, he may not never see the court, but yeah, he's definitely not going to get as he may just get garbage time, or Tiz may just feel, maybe, if Deuce is off or whatever, then he may, substitute Burks. But you know, Tibbs, they like Deuce's play and just his over his confidence, not forcing shots, and so and, like he's Tibbs is known for, taking these young players under his wings and,
Hmm.
guide them and just shape them into the plays. And Deuce is becoming a play that Tibbs, they were hoping to see. So
Right.
I think, he's gonna get the bulk of, playing time over Burks. And Burks minutes probably will decrease. So yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
He's
I
he's not he's not even he hasn't been able to get into a rhythm outside the 12 points he gave us the previous game, um but he's just not there for whatever reason. They got
Yeah.
Brown.
I'm hoping he could come through when we need him. I hope that there's some games that in the postseason that Burks could give you 15, 20 points that we wasn't even expecting. And we could be like, wow, he actually came. He was clutch for us that game. I'm hoping that could happen. Salute, Coach Sar.
Salute coach. So it may happen. We still got a few games left.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. With the minutes and with Burks. But I do agree. I don't see Burks getting those as many minutes as he is getting now. I think Tibbs is trying to be fair and put him in to see what he can hopefully do to show him what he can do. And we'll see. Like especially in a game like tonight and the next few remaining, like the next after we finish this
Yeah.
West Coast trip. Which if the Knicks win tonight's games, this will be the first time ever in the Knicks franchise history that they won or did a 4 game sweep on a road trip. So I think I'm here for the first. It's a
As
lot of firsts that's happening with the Knicks, and this is a great thing.
exactly. And to piggyback with Burks, excuse me, not with Burks. Tibbs is like Burks has earned Tibbs' trust. So
Hmm.
that's why he would definitely get more playing time over Burks because you know Tibbs can trust Deuce more so than Burks. Because like you said, like you alluded, this is Burks was used to the old Knicks. This is a whole different team. Just how they play, their style. So and things change. So
Exactly. Who's who's coming off the bench on the second unit for you when you have uh Mitch back, you have OG back, and you have Randall? Does the starting lineup change? I mean, clearly because now you have Randall and OG back. But now, who is Tibbs putting in off the bench coming in, and that's our solid second man? Or does Tibbs switch it up and the second string, the second batch of players?
Well, Tiz, I read something. He said he would definitely keep two starters in. I don't know who those two starters may be. Brunson or probably rotate, or probably just Deuce. But with Mitch, I can see him, at a healthy Knicks. I could see Mitch coming off the bench. He'll probably throw in Precious, at the four.
Hmm.
Um, Probably keep Burks, excuse me, not Burks, Brunson, because he's a workhorse, and if he wants to definitely play. Or he could probably maybe Brunson and probably DiVincenzo probably be those two starters that he keep in, and then definitely with Midge and probably again switch Precious, um, and that what was that? That was four or five?
Or
Four. Mm,
so
I gotta
you
think.
saying Dante's going to stay in the starting lineup, or he moves to the second unit?
Well, if Tibbs said, "Oh, I'm gonna keep two the starters in," so that's what I'm trying to think. Like maybe and Deuce plays well alongside him. You know, Deuce plays very. When he plays with Brunson, I don't know if it's a just that over that confidence, and just like you say, he's a student of the game. So he plays well alongside Brunson. Not that he can, he's played good without him, but he just plays great when he plays alongside Brunson.
But I think Deuce is going to be needed for that second unit.
Mm,
I think Deuce is really going to be needed for that second unit. I don't think, I think, yes, I agree. He plays well with Brunson, but unless he comes in with Brunson at times and then I don't, well, he's not going to start. So technically he would be in the second unit.
yeah.
But Vincenzo's who I'm like wondering, okay, do you continue to start him? Because who do you have? Brunson, DiVincenzo, Isaiah Hartenstein, Randall, and OG.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And off the bench, you have Josh Hart, McBride, Mitch, Precious. Who's the fifth player? Bogdanovich.
Probably so. But then I don't think he's gonna. I don't know if he's gonna start that lineup. But that's just his rotation that he can play with.
Yeah. Coach Starr said we need defense in the starting lineup. We're gonna have OG,
Yeah.
and everybody else has to step up.
It's gonna get.
Nick Yak said Burks is replacing who in a nine-man rotation.
The
He's
fun.
gonna get replaced. He ain't replacing nobody. He's gonna get replaced. Mr. C said Deuce and Precious is gonna get run off the bench when starters come back. Yeah, for sure. Precious is already like run off the bench. It's very rare Now Deuce, yeah, because he's gonna be needed more so in that second unit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So um Burks can replace the towel boy. Exactly. Go
That's
get
where it's
everybody
headed.
Yeah, go get everybody some waters and some Gatorades. Go do that. Go get people some towels and stuff. Um, your keys for tonight's game.
Man. Whew. But they definitely got to get up to a great start. Denver, they're a great rebounding team. Just their front court is just like they're locked in like the Knicks. So it's gonna be a tough matchup, but they play their style. Get up to a great start. Definitely, because that seems to propel them. Um, you know, guard that perimeter. Joker could hit. He hit the three. He's not.
Hmm.
He's a tough cover, but I feel Hartenstein do him like they did to Sabonis. You gotta throw multiple bodies at him.
Right.
But yeah, definitely again guard the perimeter. Smart passing. Their turnovers. And it, it's it's an up and down with their turnovers. Um, but yeah, just get up to a good start, man.
I agree, Mr. C. Deuce is gaining confidence each and every game. He is. You see it with his shot, his decision making on the passes. The passes are not sloppy. It's just a lot that he's doing, the little intangibles that you see the difference in what he's doing on the floor. And I know Diva Locks mentioned this a few episodes ago. She really likes the way he's being a student of the game, and he's learning under Brunson and watching what he's doing, and but still playing his style of his game. You know what I mean? So I really like what I'm seeing from Burks. Yeah, I believe that was January 25th we beat them, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, 122 to 84. The Knicks slaughtered Denver. And they can do it again tonight.
yep.
Nick Yak said the three times I saw Brunson McBride backcourt, they balled out. Watch tonight, McBride will get some burn with Brunson. Yeah, maybe Tibbs is seeing that that works. That works. I know people want to see OG and Mitchell Robinson play together, so this is why I do think that Randall, OG, um, and Mitchell Robinson do need to play at least 3 to 5 games coming back before they touch down in the playoffs. But I do want to see that mix of OG with Mitchell Robinson. I feel like OG will be able to find him and we can get those easy baskets. So, but yeah, I think the keys for tonight's game, of course, defensively, the Knicks need to be locked in. I think the Knicks need to come out really aggressive. They need to, out rebound Denver, put a body on Jokic. I don't want to see him getting everything he wants. He barely um comes off the ground. Isaiah Hartenstein usually does pretty well against really good centers and tall players. Like he usually does play really well against those teams.
Hmm.
He played well against Embiid, Rudy Gobert, other, guys in Sabonis. So I think if as long as he's locked in, and then you have Josh Hart contributing, Deuce McBride contributing, Bojan, I think the Knicks will be okay tonight. But I just think the energy has to be there from the rip. So the energy needs to be high intensity. Third quarter needs to be high intensity. I think the shooting, the field goal percentage needs to be there. Knicks need to try to go after steals, if they can. So, we'll see what happens tonight. But I have the Knicks winning. I think I had the Knicks 2-1. I mean, no, it was out of four. So I think I had them two and two or two. No, I think I had them 3-1. I think I had them 3-1. But you had them 4-0.
Yeah, I did. Yep, and I
Yeah.
stand by that. I stand by it.
Parrish said Randall isn't going to be able to come back because the shoulder needs surgery. I mean, I don't know. For sure he needs surgery, but he may be able to come back. We never know. I just think he needs to be careful when he comes back so that he doesn't trigger it or re-injure it. And then once the season's over, yes, I think he's going to immediately go and get the surgery. Tibbs already said he wants to get Mitch playing time with the starters. He could be the first sub.
He probably will. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. CM salute. Said Nick should have
Salute.
gotten Morris. Yeah, that would have been a good pickup for us. I would have rather had him over Burks because I still don't understand why we had Burks. Just like I didn't understand why we had Taj Gibson. Why? I didn't understand that.
It's Ted's boy. That's why.
Paris, you must not like Randall. He said Randall doesn't play carefully. What do you mean, like, you think he's gonna re-injure himself or the decision making? I think he's sat out enough to watch the game. I think before he got injured, he was making better decisions. So I don't think that that's gonna be. I don't know. Yeah, that's exactly what I believe. So I think
Yeah.
they're trying to hold Randall out so that way he doesn't re-injure himself so early because they need him for the postseason. I agree.
And they're winning games, so it's not like they're on this slide where, you know,
They're struggling.
they're maintaining and holding on. You know, they're doing pretty well.
Agreed. See, the thing is with that though, I just think Tibbs is for whatever reason is not getting giving Shake any burn, and I don't know why. Because there was like a few games back, he gave Jacob Toppin like a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and I was like, but you couldn't put Shake in, but yet he's rocking with Burks, and Burks is not even doing anything. If he gives you 5 points, you're lucky. I don't understand the logic in that because when we had what was his name that we had on the team and we gave him to traded him to Toronto. What was his name? A point
We
guard.
quick,
Yeah. Who?
not quickly.
No.
Flynn, Flynn.
Yeah. Malachi Flynn. He was give it wasn't many games, but he was giving him burn that time. Remember he played him against the Grizzlies. He played a couple other games.
Yeah.
Not sure what's going on there. I don't understand the logic in that because I feel like these are the games that you should be trying to give him some playing time to see what he can do and what he can contribute to this team before the playoffs come because you can possibly utilize him off the bench. I don't know that. I don't know what that's about. You think we need a pure point guard on the second unit with Deuce playing with Brunson? Yeah, but we don't have that because the backup was supposed to be Burks. I would rather have Deuce handling the ball and bringing the ball up than Alex Burks. But I think what Tibbs may do is play Deuce with Brunson some, and then Deuce is going to mainly be the point guard for the second unit. I would rather him doing it than Josh Hart, DiVincenzo. I want to see Deuce bringing up the ball, not anyone else.
Exactly.
And then you guys can find him, pass him the ball, and then he can shoot whatever shots he wants to make. So yeah, but I think that is something that the Knicks have to work on in the offseason is finding a true point guard to back up Jalen Brunson. Parrish hasn't gotten over Owie being traded. He thought it should have been Randall. Oh, yeah, we didn't get to finish it, Fabian. So we're gonna watch it and we're gonna discuss it on Saturday mornings. Chat, we're on Saturday mornings at 10 or 10:30. So check us out. We're both gonna watch it and finish it. We both started it, but we're gonna watch it and dissect it and see what Randall was talking about on the Roommates podcast. That's both Hart and Brunson's podcast. It's called the Roommates Show. So he said he was moving the arm fine from what I seen. I mean, yeah, but that's not an alive game situation. I agree. Shake needs some burn. But you know, Tibbs, it's about trust and who he trusts. So if he doesn't trust you, you're not getting any burn. It's the truth. But the Knicks play in about an hour. Chat, I know you all are gonna be watching. Anything else for you before we get out of here?
No, I got them winning, so that's all that matters. That's where my mindset is at.
Yeah, listen, I'm gonna go with the Knicks taking this one. I didn't necessarily have a team when we talked about our predictions or as far as who I thought the Knicks were gonna lose to. I think it was just more so I knew it was gonna either be I didn't know. I said it could have been Sacramento, it could have been the Warriors or Denver. I said those are the three teams who I was like, it could be any one of them. Um, but because we've already handled business against Denver, I want to see the Knicks do the same tonight. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, I don't have my laptop plugged up. Let me salute the chat. Salute to Ajay. Salute to Oath. Thanks for joining us, Oath. If you're new here, like I said, subscribe to the channel. And that goes to everyone who's new here and watching us for the first time. Salute to Jay Boogie. Salute to Sharice Duncan. Nick Yak for joining us. I've seen Nick Yak in other chats. So salute Parish Duggar. Tony Crow, Nicks and Bruises. Go subscribe to his channel if you guys haven't already.
I
Salute to
am
Fabian Williams, who joined us and has been subscribed to us. I am Jarrell, Diehard Knicks Giants. Go subscribe to his channel as well. Mr. C, salute for joining us. And I feel
Tech
like I'm
Club 95.
CM, salute. And Tech Love 95, because you just joined us. Salute. Tough game. The Knicks are going to need a lot of luck to take it. They can handle it.
Yeah, yeah.
The Knicks could be any team they come across. They just gotta want it more. So I'm thinking I'm assuming you're saying Shake has been horrible on two teams already, and the 6 minutes we played him. When did we play him? Did I miss it?
No, he played I forgot what game. It wasn't a lot of minutes though.
He said 6 minutes. Mm, well, we'll see. Um, yeah, we'll be back Saturday morning. Catch us live. We'll dissect this game, and then I believe the Knicks play again on Saturday. They do. It's actually a matinee game. They play Brooklyn at 1. So we'll go over pregame for the Brooklyn Nets. So check us out on Saturday mornings. Huh?
Pre-game, that's a W right there. That's it.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, they've been struggling badly over in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So, Mikel, if you want to come over to the Knicks, unfortunately, they're not going to let him go over there. But, you know, But yeah, this game, all of the rest of these 14 games are important at the Knicks snatch up win wise because this determines their seeding. And again, like I said, we do have Orlando right on our backs. But yeah, we'll see. Enjoy the game tonight. Everybody have a great evening. And we'll see you on Saturday. Thanks for joining us. And until next time, we out of here.